Hey guys, it is Ian here, and this is my presentation for my long-term biology project. For the first module, we ran an experiment that tested yeast's ability to metabolize different solutions. As you see on the picture, I have 5 different bottles set up, each numbered with the balloons in front of them. In the bottles, we added solutions with different concentrations of yeast and other chemicals. All bottles contain a third cup of yeast. Other than the yeast, we used bleach, sugar, salt, and cornstarch. Our experiment was to test the rate of metabolism of the different chemicals over a course of 25 minutes. It was my prediction that the bottle containing the yeast and sugar would metabolize the quickest. With the balloons attached to the bottle tops, we would be able to collect any carbon dioxide that is produced during metabolism. I came to find out that the bottle with yeast only and the bottle with bleach didn't produce any carbon dioxide. However, the bottle with yeast and sugar only produced the most. I also found out that the bottle with sugar and cornstarch also produced carbon dioxide, but not as much as the bottle with the sugar only. I came to the conclusion that the cornstarch is harder to metabolize than the sugar is. The solution bottles, after 10 minutes, as you can see, the bottle labeled number 2 is the solution of yeast and sugar only. The only other bottle that I saw progress in was the number 5 bottle, which contained the sugar and cornstarch. You can notice how the number 5 bottle isn't quite as blown up as much as the number 2 one is. In the second module, we ran an experiment that tested spinach leaf cells' ability to undergo the process of photosynthesis. In 2 cups, we conducted the experiment by vacuuming all air out of the spinach leaves and putting them in one of the 2 cups. In one of the cups there is plain water. In the other cup is a combination of water and sodium bicarbonate. If the pieces of leaf began to float after sinking to the bottom, it is said that the photosynthesis occurred enough to produce oxygen, a byproduct of photosynthesis. As you see, there's the wrench I have. I'm getting ready to vacuum the air out by pulling it back all the way. It was to my prediction that the spinach leaf pieces that were exposed to a higher amount of carbon dioxide would be the ones to float the quickest. However, it was to my surprise that the cup with plain water never showed symptoms of photosynthesis, meaning that all the leaves stayed at the bottom. This lab experiment was a little more difficult. The process of getting the leaf discs to sink by vacuuming the air out of them can be quite a pain. A problem I had originally encountered was getting all 10 of the pieces to sink. There you see the picture on the right. That's actually a picture of the first time I did it. I got a 9 out of the 10 to sink, but that one just stayed floating. Alright, for Module 3 we were to create a pedigree for left-handedness in the Thomas family. To the right is the key that we were given, pretty much used to create the pedigree. Any members with the left-handed trait will be colored in. Those that are right will remain empty. Okay, so Thomas family, the father Tom and mother Diane have 3 children. The 2 oldest children are Anna and Mary, and the youngest child is Teddy. The oldest daughter, Anna, is married and has an older son, Will, and younger daughter, Vanessa. Mary is also married and has a son, Patrick. Teddy is not yet married. Everyone in the family is right-handed except the father, the oldest daughter, and the granddaughter. Right-handedness is obviously dominant. So here on the right you kind of see the pedigree that I created using the symbols shown before. Notice how the 3 shapes that are colored in are the people in the family that are left-handed, that being the father, Anna, and the younger daughter, Vanessa. As of now, there are 3 generations in the Thomas family, each of which having a single left-handed person. For the second part of the lab, we chose a trait in our family in order to create a personal pedigree. A trait that is common in my family is brown hair. Next, I created the pedigree starting in my great-grandparents. There's the right, this is the pedigree that I created. As you can see, those with brown hair being colored in are quite common, thus further supporting the idea that brown hair is a dominant trait. There are only two people in my family that don't have brown hair, them being my mother and my father's grandmother. In Module 4, we created a nutritional chart that took into account all food consumed in a 5-day period. We documented the amount of calories, carbohydrates, and protein that is in the food we eat. My original guess was that I consumed roughly 2,300 calories a day, which surprisingly I found out to not be the case. My calorie count ranged from 1,500 to 2,300 daily. I took a guess and said that 50% of my diet is carbs, roughly 30% is protein, and 20% fat. It's actually turned out to be a little bit different. 70% of my diet is carbs, 20% fats, and 10% protein. Here you see on the screen the food chart I pretty much created using Excel. I kind of cut off Monday, I apologize about that. But as you see Tuesday, those are the calories from each meal that I ate. Next, in the next column is the fat, next column is the carbs, and the next column is the protein. Now my original guess was 2,300 a day. As you see on Tuesday, I only consumed 1,700. Wednesday was a little bit more, I consumed 1,900, and Thursday is when I actually hit what I predicted, which was 2,300. Friday went back down to 1,500. The week totals for the 1st through the 5th, as you see, is 9,094 calories, total of 435 grams of fat, roughly 1,500 carbs, and 223 grams of protein. Included in the food chart that we discussed, 3 dietary changes that could be made to improve your health long term. 3 things that came to mind when I thought of this was soda, candy, and portion sizes. Soda, I must admit, is something I consume a lot of. If one was to drastically cut down their consumption of soda, they would be doing their kidneys a favor due to the acidity of soda. As for candy, I'm not a huge fan. However, eliminating the consumption of candy or limiting the consumption of candy, a large amount of saturated fat would be eliminated from one's diet. As for portioning sizes, many people don't understand how portioning sizes work. A lot of people consider 8 ounces of cereal being a bowl instead of 1 cup. And that is the conclusion of my presentation for the long-term project for biology. I appreciate you all for watching.